everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of As I See It with me, Carolyn Rose. In case you're new here, yep, I live in an RV, and I also make videos about living in an RV on my other channel, Carolyn's RV Life. But this is the channel where I get to talk about anything I want. I happen to be a political junkie, and I talk about anything I want here. Politics, social issues, women's issues, everything in between. So today I wanted to check in with you. Very big day. Biden won again. For all the people who have been watching my political videos here and the little bit that I did on my other channel saying it's not over. The media doesn't call the election. The media doesn't call the election. Okay, yeah, the election has been called, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the winners with more than 270 Electoral College votes cast today by electors of the states that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won, just as the media predicted a couple days after the election, based on math and statistics, you know, those scientific things that we used to believe in. I did, though, want to check in with you today. I'm working on another video for this channel, but it was a big day, and I know a lot of people are both excited and wondering what's next. And so I thought I would shoot this video to talk about what's next, because unfortunately it's not over. Unfortunately, we don't have someone in the White House who cares about tradition or who cares about normal human things like honor and valor, nor do we have someone in the White House who cares about our Constitution and our democratic institutions and preserving and saving our country. As we have seen from the last few days, we've seen Trump supporters taking to the streets, causing violence. No tear gas. I'm not seeing a whole lot of upset over it from the right-wing people who hate BLM and Antifa. I know I'm angry. I'm coming off as sarcastic because, yes, I'm angry. But unfortunately, we don't have a sitting president who is going down without a fight. And he is a narcissist. He wants to win at any cost, and if that means literally burning down the country on his way out, he will do it. And we're seeing that. We're seeing where electors, I think in Michigan, they had to close down the building because of threats of violence and murder against electors. This is the country that Donald Trump has created, where people carrying out their duty as elected officials, as electors who are doing what has been done in this country for over 200 years, as far people who are doing their jobs and carrying out this democratic tradition of safe and fair elections, are getting threatened by Trump supporters. And that's where we are. That's the country that Donald Trump has created, where people who believe in and are fighting for democracy are getting threatened. And that is because we have a president who is lying through his teeth every single day. And because he's not willing to go down without burning down the country, even though all of the electors that Biden won in the states that Biden won have voted today, and it's clear again that Joe Biden has more than 270 electoral college votes, which give him the win for the 2020 presidential election, Donald Trump and his allies have one more long shot to try to steal the election away from Joe Biden and overturn the results of the millions of 80 million Americans who voted for Joe Biden. And I said in the last video, that's basically what it is. They're trying to take our votes away from us. I did want to talk to you about what their final Hail Mary is going to be to try to steal the election, to try to overturn Joe Biden's win, just so that you're not caught off guard when it happens. Because, I mean, and this is just a constitutional thing that they're going to try to do. Who knows what else is going to happen between now and January 6th when the electoral ballots go to Congress. So what happens in the electoral process is that today all the electors voted, and they voted for the winners in their state, Joe Biden. I already did a video about how the Electoral College works, and I talked about it a little bit last time. But the next step is that on January 6th, all of the votes from each state, all the electoral votes, they go in a sealed envelope and they go to Congress. Congress meets in a joint session, which means both the House of Representatives and the Senate meet. Their purpose for this meet, for getting together, this joint session, is to count and validate the votes. So what happens is in this joint session, the president of the Senate, which is the vice president, in this case, Mike Pence, and it's very unclear at this point whether Mike Pence is going to go there. Is he going to continue to be an ally of Trump, or is he going to be an ally of the Constitution and the United States of America and fair and free elections? That's still a big if, a big question mark. We don't know what Mike Pence is going to do. But as the president of the Senate, he will preside over this. But if he's absent, which I think might happen, maybe he just won't even show up. If he's absent, then the Senate President pro tempore, which is Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, presides. And then 4 what they call tellers, 2 from the House and 2 from the Senate, read the certificates from the states and the District of Columbia. And they count the electoral votes. The electoral certificates are unsealed and counted in alphabetical order by state. And then the presiding officer, should be the vice president if he's there, announces the result. If there's no interruptions, this whole process usually takes 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, and the next president again is announced again as the winner, and we all move on our merry way under a happy democracy like we've done for 250 years. However, that's not where we are as a country. That's not what's going to happen. So what's probably going to happen this year under Donald Trump is that while the Congress members are reading the certificates, anybody in the House or the Senate can raise an objection. They have to do it in writing. So what's probably going to happen is for the swing states, which Trump and his allies have tried to sue more than 50 something, I think I saw 58 times, and have lost every single time in federal courts across the land, state, federal, local courts across the land, including 2 times the Supreme Court. They have continued to lose. What is probably going to happen is he's going to find somebody willing to put their whole career and life and morality on the line to object to the certificates of one of these swing states: Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, I think maybe Arizona. So that's probably what's going to happen. Somebody's going to challenge it. They have to do it in writing while they're opening and reading the certificates. What happens then in the case of a challenge is the joint session is suspended, and the House and the Senate go off into their own chambers and they debate the objection. And then there needs to be a consensus when they come back. Does the House approve the objection? Does the Senate approve it or deny the objection? When they come back, then they kind of compare. Okay, well, we voted to approve the objection. And because the House of Representatives is Democrat majority, the chances that they are going to approve the objection are almost none. They would need to have some Democrats vote with Republicans on this case in order for them to approve the objection. And unless both houses approve the objection, it's not going to get passed. Okay? So that's where we are. Don't be surprised if you see the process on January 6th get drawn out, because we know that there's plenty of people willing to, play Trump games and side with Trump and do everything they can to subvert our democracy. We know this is going to happen. And what I suspect is going to happen is they're probably going to challenge every state that Biden won. Each house has a maximum of 2 hours to debate it. So I think that's 16 hours. This could go on a couple of days while we see this. But again, as long as all the Democrats stay true to the Constitution and the country like they have, then there's zero chance of this happening. So just wanted to let you be aware of that. And should something like that happen, so what happens is if they can't agree on the objection, if both the House and the Senate don't say, yeah, okay, we approve this objection, then they count the votes and they move on. So that's where we are at. It's still going to be rough. I mean, it's still going to be rough, but I think everything that I'm reading, all the constitutional scholars that I'm reading, all say that this last Hail Mary on the 6th is going to be a long shot. They're probably not going to win. But what this does, like I've said in other videos, is it continues the narrative that Joe Biden is not a legitimate president. And I've had a lot of conversations with you guys through comments and emails and things like that, and a lot of conversations with friends. The whole goal here is to make sure Joe Biden is not seen as a legitimate president. I'm really afraid of what's going on behind the scenes, what Donald Trump is doing to sabotage the Biden presidency. We had a hack, Russians invaded the Treasury and something else today. While Donald Trump is firing people who've been in security positions, Homeland Security, National Security, Cybersecurity. The guy from Cybersecurity just got fired. While he has been firing people who are in charge of keeping our stuff safe, the Russians are hacking it. So again, while we're looking over here and all of the chaos around the election, it looks to me like Russia probably has free reign on all our secrets and all our institutions and cybersecurity, and he's going to sabotage. It's going to be rough. So I know a lot of people are crossing their fingers, and we can't wait until he's inaugurated and looking forward to more peace. But Donald Trump is a lunatic, narcissist, who is just not going to let this go. Not only is he a narcissist and a lunatic, and I've said this before, but I think he's got debts to pay. We are not done yet. January 6th, once the joint session meets and announces, the vice president declares Joe Biden the winner of the election and the next president. From there, we can go on to inauguration, and at least we have a grown-up in power who hopefully will be able to deal with all of the carcasses and ugliness that Trump is going to be leaving behind in an attempt to sabotage him. The thing is, I think Joe Biden is a pretty smart guy, and he's going to have a lot of pretty smart people surrounding him. So that's where we're at. How y'all doing today? What are you thinking? Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe below, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. And keep speaking truth to power. See you later.